How's everyone doing today? My name is Silas Bright. I want to tell you about this movie that I watched recently. It had to do with two scientists. They were researching the how to make artificial life forms like humans that can reproduce. So, the movie started out. They had already did it to an extent where they had two little blobs that could reproduce or whatnot. So they decided to step it up and use a baby actually. So they got an embryo and they raised the embryo for 9 months like a regular mother would, and they spliced the genes in the baby. They had an idea what they wanted the baby to have. They put animal genes, all of that, into the baby. All right, the time came to produce the baby, and they thought it was a fail, but the baby ended up living. And fast forward, what really happened, as we all know with horror movies or sci-fi movies, ended up bad. The baby ended up killing people, and it was just a bust. This leads me to my topic: designer babies. The ideal of designer babies is to create a baby that you want. Blue eyes, hair, it doesn't matter. It's what you want. But it hasn't been tested. It's kind of like a video game. You're making a character, but what's the point of making a character if the game is not playable? You have not tested the game. According to Sarah Lee, article that I read that was by her, the whole point of designer babies kind of leads to embryo technology where you take genes and you splice them or whatnot. It's just the whole big process. But she said it hasn't been tested. This is an idea. The only thing that has been close to this is the sheep named Dolly. They cloned the sheep. Embryo technology is what they use. Not the designer baby aspect of it, but they used that to an extent from what they had. It was a success. They cloned it. But the thing is, it only lived to 8. Would you want your child to only live to 8? I'm pretty sure that you want to see your grandkids. You want to see your child get married. Go through the things you went through. Be there for your child. You'll be devastated if your child died today. You feel like it was your fault because you let your protectiveness to lead you to try something. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone wants the best for their child. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want their child not to have any health defects or have any diseases that might be passed down through the family? This really was the point of it, not just for, to create a baby, but to get rid of all of those diseases and things. But it hasn't been tested. But you want to be a protective parent. You want to help your kid. You want to make sure your kid has the best. But with doing that, with something that's been untested, is so dangerous. And on top of that, some people might not do it for the just knowing that their kid might have a disease. Everybody wants a child to be the best, to be the strongest, to be the smartest. So people with money are going to make sure that that happens. But at what cost? There's already a division in America right now with society, from race to wealth to power. When you add something like this and you're adding more power to people that already have or might have superiority issues, you give, now that you see a lot of Asian hate, Black Lives Matter, and not just Black people and Asian people, just a bunch of people just going through a lot of things, and Hispanics, even Caucasian people. You see a lot of people going through things. But you give people like the police now doing the shooting, you make a baby with super strength or something that can lift 1 ton. You give that baby a position as when it grows up as a police officer, and that baby get power stricken, and now it's just doing whatever it wants. You can't stop it because we didn't grow up with that. We didn't grow up with the ideal of designer babies and have all those genes and all that he might have. And then on top of that, you see now that people can't even buy Band-Aids for themselves, get themselves checked out. This is going to be a very pricey procedure. So the only people that are going to be able to get it is rich people. This isn't just going to come cheap, like some vaccine or something. It's not like that. This might be the idea started off for getting rid of diseases, but it's going to mutate to something else, something for governments to use. It's going to cause a war. Your designer baby might have to fight in the war, and he might die, and it's mainly your fault. You don't want that to be on you. You don't. You want your child to live, to have a happy life. People tend not to care whether things are ethical or not. especially when it comes to getting power, money, or whatnot. People tend not to care. They risk their own lives or even other people's lives. But would you want to risk something that came from you, your own seed? Would you want to risk that? Would you risk that to play God? Everyone knows when it comes to playing God or trying to get close to something of God, you know, his stature, it ends well. Like when they built the Tower of Babylon, we all know what happened with that. It was consequences to that. So think about that. Everything that I said just is not good at all. I advise against it. I hope that you advise against it. Thank you for your time today. I hope you have a great day. Bye.